Listen, this is Chris with week 7 update of my Yellowstone virtual machine, so I'm calling it. Today I want to overview value.rs, and this is pretty much what I programmed this weekend. Before, my virtual machine only supported F32s for every single value. I just hard coded it everywhere because it was fast to develop and I didn't have to worry about it when I was building the tokenizer, etc. So now I have a more generic value, and I want to show you what it's made of. It's made of it has a kind, which you can think of as an enum. So it can either be a bool, nil, which is equivalent of null, or a number, and it has a union. So I was a little hesitant to use this at first. The book, as you know, uses C, and C in unions makes sense. It's how the C compiler does it, according to the book. So I did implement them using Rust, but in order to do that, you need to do unsafe Rust. So pretty much I needed to put some extra safeguards in place to make sure I wasn't interpreting a value as something which it couldn't be. So I learned about unions, which is really interesting. And yeah, if you want to see just a quick overall of what's going on, I have this bit more of a complex expression going on right now. And if I were to run my code, for example, you can see it basically disassemble down here. This is what it would look like. And yeah, I have different types, which is awesome. You could stop the video now or you could keep listening. I'm just going to quickly explain how I went about kind of adding these new types because I thought it was interesting, kind of the A to Z flow of it. The first thing I needed to do was add an opcode. So in this case, I added op nil, and then after you add an opcode, you need to update the rule. So this token will correlate with that opcode eventually. And when I see this token, I need to know what to do. So before, I would have like a binary, a unary. In this case, it's a literal. What type of literal? Well, here's the different types of literals. There's token true, token false, and token nil, right? So that's how I emit those bytes. The next thing that you need to update is actually in the runtime itself. And this is basically what happens when the virtual machine sees a nil. And here it's just going to push a value, and that value is going to be a nil value. Awesome. And then the last thing that I needed to do was update kind of my debugging or the disassembling, as you saw. So here, when I added this instruction, it then kind of made a nice little pretty output into the console. Anyways, yeah. So overall, the compiler is much more generic. I now have a framework in place to add different values. So for example, I have true and false, and I also have a lot more opcodes. Like I have less than, greater than, not equal, stuff like that. Overall, it was a pretty productive week. I got the programming done pretty fast, and I'm excited for next week. All right, thanks.